An undrafted guard could be about to get one of the richest offer sheets of the summer. According to multiple reports, the Brooklyn Nets are preparing a 4-year, $178.5 million max offer for Austin Reaves. That's around $44.5 million a year, roughly $540,000 for every single regular season game he plays. So is that brilliant business or a massive overpay? Let's run the actual math. Quick note up front, the contract itself is a report, a rumor, not a signed deal, so we'll treat those numbers as reported. But the player's production is verified, and that's what we can actually judge. We'll look at what Reaves produces, how efficient he really is, what $44 million buys in today's NBA, and the risks that could make it a regret. Let's start with the reported offer. This is game is culture. If you like contracts broken down by the numbers instead of the hype, hit subscribe. We're chasing 1,000. It's free and it genuinely helps. Now, the reported offer. Here's what's being reported. Brooklyn, sitting on cap space, is prepared to offer Reaves 4 years and $178.5 million. Detroit and Atlanta reportedly also have the room to compete, with Utah watching. And the wrinkle, the Lakers reportedly may have to go even higher, with talk of a number near $239 million to keep him. So this isn't one team overpaying in a vacuum, it's a market forming around him. The suitors lining up. Start with the most aggressive, Brooklyn. The Nets went 20-62 this year, a full rebuild with no star and a mountain of cap space. That's exactly why they're reportedly leading the chase. For them, Reaves wouldn't be a complimentary piece, he'd be the centerpiece, the day one alpha, and the new face of the franchise. When you have nothing but cap room and no identity, you pay a premium for a foundation. Right now, Reaves is the best foundation on the market. Then the scariest fit, Detroit. The Pistons went 60-22, the number 1 seed in the entire Eastern Conference, built around Cade Cunningham, who just led the whole playoffs in scoring. Now picture Reaves next to Cade, 2 efficient shot creators who can both run an offense and knock down threes. That backcourt would be a nightmare to defend. The one question is size and defense with 2 guards, but for a real contender, this is the best on-court fit on the list. Atlanta makes sense too. The Hawks are a 46-win playoff team led by Jalen Johnson, but Trae Young missed most of the season, and Dyson Daniels is one of the best perimeter defenders alive. Reaves would raise their backcourt floor overnight, an efficient creator who can carry the offense when Trae sits, while Daniels takes the tougher defensive assignment to cover for him. For a team stuck around the play-in, that's a genuine push up the standings. And lurking in the background, Utah. The Jazz went 22-60, deep in a rebuild, and they're reportedly just keeping close tabs. They've got the cap space to throw a number out there, and a young roster that could use a proven scorer to grow around. But realistically, a bottom-of-the-standings rebuild is the least attractive home on this list. Utah is more likely driving his price up than actually landing him. What he actually produces. Now the verified part. This season, Reaves averaged 23 points, nearly 5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists a game. That's legit lead guard production, real scoring with real playmaking. On paper, that's the kind of line that used to belong to clear all-stars. The question is whether the rest of his profile backs up paying him like one. And here's the context that matters most. He was undrafted in 2021. Undrafted. Then look at the climb. 7 points a game, then 13, 16, 20, and now 23. He has gotten better every single season without exception. You're not paying for what he is today. You're betting on a still rising 27-year-old who hasn't shown a ceiling yet. The efficiency is the real story.
Because the headline number, the one that actually justifies the money, is his efficiency. A true shooting percentage of 64. Scoring 23 a game while shooting that efficiently is rare. Most high-volume scorers live in the high 50s. Reaves scores like a star and barely wastes a possession doing it, finishing at the rim, hitting threes, and getting to the line at an 87% clip. That efficiency is what separates him from a normal 23-point scorer. Volume scoring is cheap. Lots of guys can chuck their way to 20. Efficient volume, with playmaking on top, is what wins, and what teams pay a premium for. 5.5 assists means he runs offense, not just finishes it. On pure offensive value, Reaves grades out like a genuine building block. So what does $44 million buy? here's the case against. $44.5 million a year is near max money. That is the salary tier of established multiple-time All-Stars. And Austin Reaves has never made an All-Star team. On reputation and accolades alone, paying a non-All-Star like a franchise centerpiece looks like a clear overpay. That's the gut reaction, and it's not crazy. But here's the rebuttal, and it's strong. The salary cap is rising fast in the new TV deal era, so $44 million is a shrinking slice, roughly a quarter of a rising cap, which is actually below a true max. And remember, Reaves has been a massive bargain, making around $13.5 million while producing like a $40 million player. This deal isn't an overpay so much as the market finally correcting a huge underpay. The real risks. Now the part that should give a team pause. Availability. This season, Reaves played just 51 games. For a max level salary, you need a player on the floor, and missing a third of the year is a real red flag on a 4-year commitment. Add that he's a target on defense, not a plus defender, and you're paying premium money for a one-way, sometimes unavailable star. So that's the gamble in one sentence. If Reaves stays healthy and keeps climbing, $44 million a year ages into a bargain as the cap explodes. If the injuries continue or the defense gets exposed in the playoffs, you've handed near max money to a complimentary piece. The contract isn't crazy. It's a bet on health and trajectory, what he wants, and what LA can do. So what does Reaves actually want? By all reports, he wants to stay. This is the undrafted kid who became indispensable in Los Angeles. His entire NBA story is a Lakers story. But wanting to stay and being cheap are two different things. Because there's talk he's seeking closer to $239 million to run it back. So even his preferred ending comes with the biggest price tag of all. And here's the part that decides the whole thing. As his current team, the Lakers hold the best cards. They own his rights, so they can offer something no rival can. A 5th year and bigger annual raises. That's exactly why his stay number, around 239, is larger than Brooklyn's 4-year offer. More years, steeper raises. And because what's being reported are offer sheets, the Lakers can simply match any of them. Rival teams can drive his price up. Los Angeles can almost always answer, "We'll top that." The verdict. Put it side by side. What makes it look like an overpay? No all-star selections, only 51 games, shaky defense. What makes it defensible? Elite 64% efficiency, a 5-year climb with no ceiling in sight, and a rising cap that shrinks the number every year. Weigh those honestly, and this isn't a slam dunk steal, but it's a long way from a disaster. So here's our read. If the reports hold, around $44.5 million a year for Austin Reaves is a fair to slightly rich market deal. Not the robbery the big number makes it sound like. He's an ultra-efficient, still improving 23, 5, and 5 guard, and in a rising cap that's worth real money. The risk is durability, not talent. And the kicker? That reported Nets number might actually be less than what it costs to keep him in Los Angeles. Which is the wildest part of all. We're debating whether $44 million is too much, while the team that has him reportedly faces paying even more to avoid losing him for nothing. That tension, his old bargain deal expiring into a bidding war, is exactly how an undrafted role player turns into one of the most expensive free agents of the summer. So you tell me, if you ran a team, would you hand Austin Reaves $178 million? Or is that too rich for a guard who's never made an all-star team? Drop your verdict below, and if you want more contracts broken down by the real numbers, subscribe and join the family.